Super Ugly Show. 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 It's the Super Ugly.
It is fucking going down, everyone. You are not gonna want to miss this.
Yeah.
He's doing
We've been on the brink since it started.
Super Ugly Show.
Super Ugly Show. Tuesdays with the Super Ugly Show.
I encourage my children and my grandchildren
When they're old enough to
listen
watch
to
it?
this. When they're old enough to, whenever.
I'm the glue for this puzzle here.
I'll live in infamy forever now. My kids will have record of this. My grandkids will have record of this. This will always be there.
Oh, I thought Rocky was the asshole of the show.
I'm
It
the
turns out
asshole.
I'm the fucking asshole. I didn't even want to be the asshole.
I'm a nice guy. Oh, it's gonna get ugly.
You're not safe.
Hold on a second. What the fuck is going on right now?
He just got an alert for episode 99.
Who?
John.
Really?
Yeah. What are you doing? What happened, dude?
I'm not doing anything.
Oh my god, dude. I hate you. It says
All right, it's
live.
online right now.
Oh, look at that. Who needs an intro, right? We good? We're going? We're on?
I don't know.
What do you mean? You
Is,
don't-
is this not working right?
Hold on. No, it says live.
Click on
says
it through
live.
your YouTube.
It's on. It's on.
You sure?
It's frozen.
How about this? There you go. Oh my god. We can't get our shit.
Oh shit! That was good.
Oh shit! Wait, what?
Now we look like fools.
Just saying this.
I blame you guys.
No, don't blame them.
I'm blaming them.
Someone's calling in, Rich.
Oh shit.
Just saying this.
Says Super Ugly Show episode 99 with Big Vito.
Really?
Yeah. Way to go, pal.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not kidding. You are just.
Is it playing the feed?
Yeah, the
who
feed's
cares?
playing.
Fuck
You
it.
just have the wrong title. So everyone who's watching live,
You see the title right up there.
I don't see anything. You fucked it all up. Everyone who's watching live, we are live. It's episode 104. Big Vito's not on yet, but Andre Gower is from the Monster Squad. Andre, welcome to the Super Ugly Show.
Thanks for having me. It sounds fun already.
Sorry about the. This guy, let me tell you something. Every fucking week, I got to deal with this guy.
I know. I feel you. I know exactly what you're going through.
You have one of those guys, or you're the guy?
Yeah. No. I have one of the. I have a couple of those guys. No, I have like a guy.
Are you one of the guys?
We all know that
sometimes?
guy.
Let me ask you: when you go, what's going on? Does he actually give you an answer, or he just goes, "Hold on 1 second"?
Yeah. Or something's wrong here.
Usually, my guy goes, "Wait, what day?"
Yeah. It's always something with you people.
I don't know what the fuck. This computer changes everything all the time.
Just magically.
I don't know.
Magically. My
All right,
computer
come on,
trolls
come on.
coming here.
Stop. Enough about me.
All right.
Enough
all
about
right.
me.
Let's get to it. Andre,
You were
Yes.
once a squad leader.
you are. You're sure?
I was. Yes.
What do you mean was? I
Still am. Yes.
There you go.
How do you feel about talks of an adult sequel? I've heard rumblings, and you hear. I heard reboot, and reboot's done.
Cobra Kai, Ralph Macchio.
What are you doing? I don't give a shit about that right
I'm
now.
just saying.
Stay focused.
Can we cut his mic?
I want to.
But a film for the 80s continuing.
Shut up.
We're talking about
Shut up.
something else.
Shut up.
No, I can't. Go ahead.
I hate him. I hate him right now.
Really professional.
If they did the grown-up version, you'd be all in, correct?
I think it depends on who's doing it and what kind of what it would be. Because everybody that was involved in it from the beginning or originally, and then us that are still kind of connected to it now. And the last 10 years have been crazy. We've been traveling around and doing appearances and screenings and tours. So it really means a lot to a lot of fans, and I think it would have to be the right project and the right story for everybody to really jump on board. And as long as Shane and Fred were somehow involved, I think then it would probably justice would be done. And I think there's even though it would be updated or adult version or have other kids in it, I think there's the right story out there to do something to revisit this.
Now, this movie, I mean, you do it as adults, let's say. Definitely are, because, dude, back then, that movie got away with fucking murder, dude.
Yeah.
Now, the person who played Horace, unfortunately, he passed away back in 97, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that is correct, yeah.
Yeah, now, but there's that scene with Wayne Arnold. I forget, his real name's escaping me right now. And he's
Jason Hervey.
Yes, Jason Hervey. And he's calling him a faggot. This is a PG movie.
Yeah. Smoking cigarettes.
Ryan Lambert, the cool kid in
Right.
the movie, smoking butts. There's titties somewhat. You know what I mean? They're stalkingly taking pictures.
Yeah.
But you watch it and none of it seems wrong. You know what I mean? Like, none of it. I mean, I bet a kid today would watch it and be like, "Oh my God, that's a." But at our time, and even my kids watch it, and they're like me, they see nothing wrong with it, and neither do I. But to imagine now with the R rating, and I mean even the violence in it, it was pretty graphic.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head of where a lot of the conversations are about this movie, especially today, from the lens of an audience viewer today as compared to, summer of 87. We get that question all the time. But this is how movies were made. And this one kind of the kids' adventure movies of the era, this one kind of pushed it to the edge of the envelope a little bit. I mean, we're handling, we're swearing, we're being, a little slurring to our friends. There's also the bullies that aren't treating people very well. There is a little bit of next door neighbor stalking the cute girl.
One of the
We're handling
kids' names is Fat Kid.
Right.
He's called Fat Kid through the whole movie.
And in the script, the character name is Fat Kid.
Can I ask you something real quick?
But that's how kids talk, right?
Yes, of course. But I know you didn't have any involvement in the casting. But could you imagine the mother of oh, Fat Kid, my son's perfect.
Right.
You got to think,
well,
and I don't know this woman, and God bless her, she lost her son. But, if I saw an ad and they were like, ugly fat kid, I'd be like, well, my kid doesn't fit that. But back in the 80s, people were like, fuck it, put him in front of the camera. He is a fat kid.
Well, that's sort of the actor's kind of paradox there. It's like you are what you are, and if you're if you're 6'5" and 305 pounds, you're not going to be playing the ballerina.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rich.
So you're going to go for the roles that you're going to go. And that's always sort of the thing. So it is kind of off the bat where, let's say you're a 12, 13-year-old kid that may be overweight at that time. You're going to get cast as the overweight, plucky, funny kid. And that may have something to do with your psyche at the time and may affect that a little bit. I know a lot of actors and actresses that, grew up and they're like, I'm tired of playing the big girl next door.
Yeah. And the good thing about this movie too, and I'm being dead honest, every one of the kids in the movie has a scene that you remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like any one of the kids who are like, you can kind of lose that one.
The one with the shotgun.
Yeah, Horace. That's
Yeah.
Fat Kid.
Yeah.
The name's Horace, and he
Yeah.
fucking cocks the gun. Even the little girl, she goes, "Come on, guys, stop being chicken shit."
Yeah.
That girl was what, 4?
How old?
Yeah, she was actually was 5 when we shot that, and she was fantastic. So look, you're hitting on the main kind of points that resonated with everybody whenever they first saw it, whether it was the 17 people that saw it in the theater or on HBO or
the
at
fucking
the video
millions
store.
that's seen it on VHS.
Yeah.
Right. And somebody relates to either one of all of the characters or a combination of, and they kind of connect with that, and that's what kind of made it real for them. And we talk to fans all the time, and I'm doing a project right now that is about this very subject, and it was authentic and it was real, and the kids were real, and the situation may have been supernatural and monster based, but it was handled authentic and had heart. And that's why everybody kind of resonated with it. But today you look at it and go, how did you do all these things? And when you actually kind of poke into it a little bit deeper, we were a little ahead of our time in a lot of aspects there. Whereas, it's a group of dorky boys, but the hero of the movie is a 5-year-old girl.
Richie, you know who wrote this movie, right?
Who?
See, he doesn't know. I'm like the real movie guy here.
Well, let's ask him some trivia. Oh, you're.
I'm sorry. No, he won't even know who that is. That's the funny part. He wrote one of his favorite movies.
What's your favorite Shane Black movie?
Well, mine personally is Monster Squad, of course, and then Lethal Weapon. Yours is The Predator. He was also in Predator, the dude with the glasses.
Hawkins, the first guy.
Yeah. One of the soldiers.
That's Shane Black.
Oh, okay.
That's Shane Black. That's him and Fred Decker, correct?
Yeah, Fred and Shane co-wrote. Mostly, the screenplay is mostly Shane. Fred's the story and then wrote a few scenes. But Fred was wrapping his first movie while they were Shane was taking a stab at writing this. And when we were in production of the Monster Squad, Shane had subsequently written and already sold his next screenplay, which actually released before, which was Lethal Weapon, which put him on the map. And then now he was, a franchise guy. But Shane's arc through this time is Shane was in LA to be an actor. And he's a great actor. And he ended up being kind of one of the most prolific and highest paid screenwriters in Hollywood, even to this day. And right after Lethal Weapon franchise kind of was rolling, he sold 2 spec screenplays right after that were the highest paid spec screenplays ever sold in Hollywood. Yeah. And the first one was The Last Boy Scout, and then The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah. Which both are fun movies, we'll say.
Fun movies. Usually the Shane Black lament, I believe, is that the movies were made not in the heart of the actual story or script, and a director or a studio kind of took it down a different path where it still worked, but it didn't hit where it could have. But when you watch those movies, you know exactly who wrote these because they're all similar.
No, hold on.
He did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang also,
One second. Andre, when you make movies now, do you bring back that kind of edginess and push it still to the to the limit with the films that you make now?
Well, I think you have to know where you're living at the time and what you're trying to go for. Because if you're out there as a filmmaker, let's say totally independent, you're either funding it yourself or someone, your friends are financing it with you, or you're Kickstartering or something. Yeah. You can make whatever you want to. If you have studio or other production companies involved, they usually have a say, and that's where a lot of this comes in on a creative, from a directive, a direct standpoint or a filmmaker standpoint, writer, whatever. But I think I think the really good and successful films of today are the ones that take a subject and kind of find a new path. Everything's been done 100 times, but how you find a new angle or a new twist or a new slice through it, and then kind of push some areas that haven't been pushed, but the smart ones don't go too far, right? Because everybody can go out there and make a genre movie and be splatter and gory and super full of gratuitous everything, and it just doesn't add to what your actual story is just for the sake of doing it. But the really clever ones and smart ones use it right.
Hatchet is over the top gore and all that stuff, and it hit its mark. But that's one.
But that's on purpose. Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
And for a select group, because you have to know, and that's a perfect example of someone like Adam Green making a movie of his own for his own group, and that was the first part I was talking about. Those are great because you know exactly where you're going with it, and you're not trying to appeal to this mass, the mass audience. Yeah. That the studio's first thing is what's our widest, broadest audience, because we got to make the most return. And a filmmaker, especially in a genre or a subgenre, is going to be like, I'm only making this for these people.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going after, and that's what I'm saying. The smart ones now know how to do.
If you go the mass way, you could be considered a flop. If you go kind of the independent, edgy way, you're going to be an underground success. You're going to be able to sell merch. NECA is going to sell your toys.
Well, take it easy, dude. I mean, you're jumping the gun
They
there.
do,
I mean,
though.
that's not a guarantee, though.
No. If the movie is good.
Yes, again, yeah. But if the movie's good, then why is it a flop?
Because
No, he's saying it's a.
No, I get what he's saying.
Because
The
you
audience,
can't push
yeah.
it to
Oh,
Mary
you're
and Bobby.
talking- okay, yeah. Middle America, you won't. Yeah, feed it. I get it. All right.
You
Sorry.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Now I do. Sorry, I was a little lost.
And a lot of it has to do with, when you're talking about the studio and they're trying to go broad base, you could still have a good movie that would connect with people, but the marketing of the movie doesn't work, or they don't do any marketing at all, or they do the wrong marketing, or they release it at the wrong time, or something was going on in the country or the world the weekend that you release that totally overshadows you, or you don't get good reviews. Or now today, social media is the new reviewer. And you could have a movie that's, getting mediocre coverage, but a bunch of people start tweeting about it or, Facebooking and saying, this is the greatest movie, you got to see it. That's the new word of mouth. And the word of mouth now reaches past the end of your block.
Now, do you think
And
helps?
that helps
or
with things,
hurt?
too.
Do you think it helps though all the time?
Well-
or because sometimes the word travels so fast. Like, for instance, Justice League.
It can go both ways.
Justice
certainly.
League got killed. I saw it. I had fun watching it. I didn't think it was a bad movie. But if you go by literally everything on the internet, it's the worst movie ever made.
You want to know something? And if they put it just out on the internet as like a sneak thing, it probably would have been better. As like a
You mean like Cloverfield?
yes.
Yeah, you can't do that with Batman, though. I mean,
You could do it whatever you want these days.
I guess.
I mean,
guess.
Netflix is putting well, whatever.
I want to bring it back to Monster Squad.
Yeah,
real
hold on.
quick.
Yeah. Well,
how much
make a good
how much
point.
shit do you get with the Goonies versus Monster Squad? Because I kind of want to get into this.
Okay, we can get into that.
If we was to do
Look,
a
we'll
versus,
start-
like
We've done a death match. You don't remember? I said Monster Squad would destroy those pussies.
Yes.
These guys are killing people.
yes,
The cool kid
Right.
shot how many banshees? Horace
I
shot
don't know.
the wolf. He blew up the fucking Wolfman.
how much of a chance? How much of a chance could Mikey from Goonies
None.
kick your ass?
The, bullies would
The
be-
characters or Sean Astin versus Andre Gower in real life?
Well, you
neither
could do
neither
both,
are
but
a
I'm-
contest. But
I have to agree. I've never talked to Sean Astin. I've talked to Andre, and I'm gonna say you'd kick his ass.
All right, you probably.
nah,
would-
Sean's a great kid. I've been
Yes.
friends with him and his brother my entire life. But,
we're in a fake world right now.
okay, so we're in the fake world. Do you want me to run it down for, or are you gonna run it down?
please, and if you say anything I don't like, I'm gonna have to. I don't want to be rude.
Before you even start, Andre, I want you to know that we did this death match. We've done it before.
Yeah.
And I broke it down in a way where there's no way the Goonies could do. The only one in the Goonies I think that is even going to fight is Mouth. Everyone else is going to bitch up. Look at Bren. Even the tough guy isn't tough.
Yeah.
He gets tooled around by that jerk-off jock guy. That guy was a nerd, too. I'd beat the shit out of him, too. Get the fuck out of here. The Monster Squad, you got fucking Rudy. He's smoking butts. He's cool as shit with the bow and arrow.
got a leather jacket.
Dude, when he's doing the bow and arrow, I got to tell you, when I was 7 or 8 watching that movie, I was like, this motherfucker is the coolest motherfucker ever. Like, he's sitting there, he's like, I got this. And just picking him off. He blew up Wolfman.
I know.
Bro, what? They have guns and bow and arrows. What does Goonies
No,
have?
this is a deathmatch of hand-to-hand combat. I mean, because
In the center of town where Monster Squad takes place, like outsider style.
well, why don't you let him answer?
Ooh. Yeah, we would be kind of the. It's kind of the nerdy socias versus the geeky greasers.
You guys would
Yeah.
be the greasers, if anything, though.
Smoke
I
pot,
think
bro.
so, just because we have Rudy. But
Burnout.
look, this is our normal kind of take on it. And
How old was Ryan, by the way, filming?
14, 15,
Were
14,
those real
15.
cigarettes?
Well, so the story with Rudy and the character and the cigarettes is they were originally fake Cabbage movie cigarettes. And by probably the second day or third day of filming where he was smoking, they ended up were real Marlboros, I think.
Yes.
That is awesome. Fucking 80s rule,
Yo,
dude.
Old America is gone.
Could you
Old
imagine
America
a kid
is
dude,
gone.
it's dead.
By
It's
30.
dead. And then before the
Yeah,
death
fourth-
match, real quick, did any
Wait,
scene
by
legitimately...
30,
John, what do you
by, by 40.
What?
He had, stage 4 lung cancer.
No, he's still around.
I'm only kidding.
He's doing awesome. He's actually friends with our buddy Andre here. The one scene I would think as a kid that would have terrified me, and I mean, you could tell me how if you were terrified with most of the monster stuff. But when you guys were in Dracula's house or whatever, and the Wolfman pops out, and the chicks are coming from the other way, like, was all that around you, or was that movie magic? And what was the scene that you were, like, legit, like, all right, that's kind of fucking creepy, dude?
I think the scene you're talking about in the house where we find the amulet was always one of my favorite scenes in the script, which ended up we didn't shoot that scripted scene for what you see in what we have today because it was much longer and deeper, and I think it ended up being a timing thing, not being able to get all that set built and get it done, so they kind of trimmed it way down. So yeah, we go into the house, we're tracking down the amulet, we got to find it. So if you like that scene, let me tell you what it originally was.
Please do.
It was, we go into the house and there's a guy in there, like some dude. And I can't remember if he introduces himself as like Van Helsing's grandson or if he's like a real estate agent trying to list the house or something. I can't remember what that part was. Okay. But I'll have to look it up in an old draft. But he said, "Hey, can you help us? Can you help me find something in this house or whatever?" And he leads us down into these subterranean layers in these catacombs, and we realize that he's not who he says he is because the scene before that with Scary German Guy saying, "If I was a vampire, I wouldn't have a reflection." That line was actually a setup to a payoff that we never see because in the scary house, with this guy, we're walking down this hallway and there's this big kind of dusty broken mirror, and my character turns around or turns to the side and sees everybody but him. Yeah. And then we know we're in trouble. So then that's kind of where I call like the episode of Scooby-Doo ensues. And we start running and we get all these multi-layers and we're going down different levels, and every level there was a monster. So he's chasing us from up there. We go down in the trap door, we go downstairs and we find the vampire brides. And then at the very bottom, we run into Wolfman, and that's where the, kind of famous Wolfman's Got Nards gets kicked, and then we escape. But what we shot, everything. 20
minutes later. Sorry.
Everything ends up happening kind of on the same level all at once, so it was kind of compressed. But that was a much more in-depth, deeper, longer scene, and I would have loved for that to be shot because it just showed a little bit more depth to the characters and depth to the adventure story, and it gives a big payoff to a setup that we see that we don't get the payoff for with the vampire reflection thing.
Yeah. Madalena just wrote it too. You brought up Scary German Guy, dude. Until like, I'm not even kidding, like 2 years ago when I watched this movie again with one of my kids, I never realized he was a Holocaust survivor, and it made it so much worse that you guys called him even like that. I forgot about that when we were talking about how edgy this movie was. They're calling a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, he had the numbers on him.
German guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that was something that a lot of people take away from, like, oh, this movie just got even deeper and heavier than the shit we're already dealing with as we're watching it. Because we have a kids' adventure movie in the 80s where we're chasing around famous Universal monsters, and all of a sudden we bring in the Holocaust and a survivor who we always think is the weird old guy in the neighborhood that we wouldn't go anywhere near his creepy yard. Yeah. Yet he ends up being
the best guy there.
The guy that actually understands what we're dealing with, and that there are monsters. So he's really the only one that believes us. And in the deeper story, it's always about the kids with the adults, and the adults never believe anybody. And that was kind of
the movie were the monsters. Like, they were, as far as like a couple, they were good parents, but as a couple, fuck, they hated each other, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's another example that we see a lot in kind of 80s movies with kids as families, with kind of this this splitting of the family or, a struggling relationship type thing. But ours is going full blown in this kid's adventure story where these parents are just disintegrating. And so that's a whole other thing that takes you to a whole other level. And a lot of people resonated with that too, because they're like, hey, I was watching your movie and I was championing you guys fighting these monsters, but my parents were doing the same exact thing as your parents were. So I understand your character in that aspect. I'm like, that's just, bonkers. So there's so many layers that make this movie so deep that you don't really think about until you actually look into it.
But you know what, Andre? If they kind of focused, because you're hitting all these points, if they kind of made it a little bit more like how important the parents fighting or how important this Holocaust survivor is, I think I don't know. That's why when Rocky says like a one today, if they was to make a Monster Squad today, if you was to take that movie and just show the points that you're talking about now and make them a little bit more important to the film, oh man, it would fucking hit home, because you bring all these important facts up, but the movie kind of like breezes over it like it's not a big deal. You understand what I'm saying?
I do, and I kind of commiserate with you at the same time, because those deeper things were in the script.
Yes.
And they just either got cut or they didn't get shot.
And they just weren't.
They didn't make a show of it.
Oh, because they could have fucking hit these points where people felt these
There's no
things.
part I always loved with the kid. He's like, there's a scary monster in my closet. And the dad goes, ooh, look at this scary monster. That fucking kills me. I mean, even to this day, that part still kills me. But let's get back to the...
That's one of the kind of brief levity parts of Scary Stuff. And that's really something that, really picks from kind of the Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein kind of vibe.
What get back to. What scared you? And let's get to the death match, because let's do that.
Nothing really scared me. The most crazy and intense shooting of it was, in that final action sequence with the wind and the fans and the debris and the effects going on that you had to pretend were there, and monsters blowing up and killing people left and right. That was a pretty intense week shooting at night, on the Warner Brothers lot. Even for someone it's 13, knows what's going on. Now, Ashley Bank, who was 5 at the time, and we never saw Tom Noonan as Frankenstein's monster or Duncan out of costume or out of character for 3 months.
Really?
So we never knew these individuals.
Now I heard,
and so they were monsters in real life to us.
I heard the one scene where Dracula picks her up and he goes, "Give me the amulet, you bitch." He actually put the lenses and the teeth in, which he wouldn't do around her typically, I heard. And she didn't know it was going to happen. And when they said action, it was a genuine shriek of terror from this little girl, because he had the in her face. She was so scared of them in general that they didn't do any face-to-face coverage with the fangs or the red contacts in. But for that, one shot to get that absolute reaction, that was authentic. That was the first time, and he lifted her up and she raises up on this, this platform, and he hissed at her and had the red eyes, and she tells a great story that we've told, a ton of times on the road, that was the first time Fred Decker said, okay, now he's going to lift you up, he's going to say, and then you're going to scream. And Ashley goes, okay, when? And he goes, you'll know. That's so awesome. Dude, who was a
And so that first scream, actually, if you watch it, kind of a little inside baseball knowledge is that her scream goes and it cuts to him and he hisses kind of like a second hiss, and it cuts back to her with this other scream. They had to cut that together because her first scream, she was so scared she lost her voice. She just eked it out, and then she was out, and they had to do it a second time.
Dude, that guy was hands down, and I'm being legit. And if anyone can think of a better one, there was no better Count Dracula. There may have been better vampires, and even then, I won't agree with it. But as far as Dracula is concerned, no one portrayed him better than me. I think he's even better than Lugosi.
As far as the classic
it's hard
Dracula,
yes,
the classic Dracula.
Yep.
Well, you always got to take the first one that anybody's ever seen as kind of the standard, right? Duncan, who is a phenomenal actor, super trained, very deep, very intellectual, very smart guy, and physically and naturally has this amazing just presence about him, even to this day. You know, he's like 6'5", thin. He's got this haunting look, and he looks right through you. And you know, he can either make you feel all warm and fuzzy with just a sentence, or he can make you feel like you just jumped in a bunch of ice. He tells an amazing background of how he was approaching this character, because he knew it was an important character. Like you said, it's very historical. It's a famous literary character, been portrayed on screen a dozen times up until then or more. And instead of approaching it from the kind of monstery or the beast angle, he said, I want to play this character who is a monster now, but used to be a man and can no longer be a man, and he knows that. And now he's a monster, but it's a monster that used to be a man, and he just plays him cold and trapped, and just, I mean, if you watched him deeply, that's a great performance.
All the monsters in it, I mean, are fucking awesome.
Let's talk about the monsters.
The Wolfman, again, I think it's one of the best Wolfman betrayals. That guy, when he's in the phone booth and he's screaming, and then he's in the police station. He nailed it.
It's good. It's a good scene.
Well, that's great casting, you know, that character's guy name was Desperate Man. And that's John Greaves, who is a phenomenal character actor that we've seen in, a million movies. He's Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite.
Get the fuck out of here.
Is he really?
You
Yeah,
just blew my mind. He is.
Yeah, that's John Greaves. And he's always, this great character feature kind of co-star role. He's Laszlo in Real Genius.
The Val Kilmer movie, right?
Yes.
The guy that lives in the wall of the dorm, inside the walls. And he always always has
UHF?
this. No, different one.
All right. Hold on. Before let's get to a little fun shit.
Let's do the death match.
Yeah, hold on.
Let's do that.
I have money.
All right.
That Sloth will kick the shit out of Frankenstein.
No fucking way.
Yes.
Andre, please.
Sloth fucking picked up a boulder.
No, he won't. He'll eat a baby Ruth.
Frankenstein
and then he'll
held on while getting sucked into a black hole.
Yeah.
Do you know how strong a black hole suction is?
I think Sloth would kick the shit out of Frankenstein and then go through the whole cast of Monster Squad.
With Dracula, one hand, he goes, Dracula, goes, bogus, boom. Dracula goes fucking flying across the whole fucking courtyard. Sloth?
Apples and oranges.
Sloth?
Yes.
Andre, please.
Sloth's stupid.
Let's get
the only advantage I would give Sloth is that he may be a little bit more agile.
Yes.
And that's about it.
But you know yourself.
And he was tortured by his brothers. You were tortured by your brothers.
You get a hold of someone as strong as Frankenstein, Andre the Giant, let's say, couldn't move. But if he gets you, you're fucking dead.
Right, he's got you. Yeah, you're toast. Now, so this is our response to the Squad versus Goonies thing. The Goonies are great, fun movie, super successful. Yeah. Friends with everybody that's in it, right? We all read for the Goonies.
Though. Overrated.
It's a little fun. It's a little campy. Monster Squad was the complete opposite of that. And the Goonies were running around. They were trying to save their neighborhood from a developer.
Yes. Pretty much.
And they ended up running it. They're trying to find some pirate treasure.
Yeah.
And they were running away from Throw Mama from the Train and the Pizza Brothers.
Yeah, the evil businessman.
Right. And so,
Andre, who were the evil people you were battling?
Well, the Goonies were trying to save their neighborhood from becoming a golf course and fighting the Pizza Brothers. And where they saved the neighborhood, the Monster Squad saved the world.
Yeah.
From fucking Dracula.
Yeah. All right. The evil business. Remember when they show up to the house?
All
Like,
right,
you tell your
right,
dad we
all
came
right,
here.
A 90-year-old
All right.
fat old lady.
You know what
and
Dracula
two
did when he showed up to Sean's house? He blew up his fucking treehouse. All right.
All right. I lose.
Why did he do that?
Okay, I lose. Point taken.
He thought
Who would you rather fight?
The Goonies,
a grandma or a vampire?
The Goonies cannot beat up the Monster Squad. I take it all back.
Yeah, like it's not
that I will agree with that statement. But if you like the Goonies, you like the Goonies. It's great. The Goonies are great.
I love both movies.
And I always close. The Goonies may never say die. But Wolfman's got nards.
Exactly. Dude, Wolfman's got nards to me.
It's fucking awesome.
Is one of the, he doesn't have nards.
I'm gonna tell. I remember this. I remember watching this movie with my cousin, and I don't remember anything. And then there's like 4 parts I literally remember my cousin repeating over and over.
Yeah.
Wolfman's got nards, and then the thing.
The name's Horace.
Yeah.
Because they go, nice
Now
shot,
that's why I'm
fat kid.
laughing while they're repeating it, because now I'm starting to remember.
Andre, what was the name of the movie inside of the movie again?
Groundhog Day Part 12.
That's it.
What is
I
that?
never wanted a movie to be made more than Groundhog Day, any of them. Because I remember the excitement Sean had. He's sitting on his roof, too, which is the fucking coolest thing to me. He could see the drive-in from
This
his
is
roof.
a fake movie?
Yeah. You don't remember? Him
No.
and his dad are watching it on the roof.
Yeah.
And I remember, and of course, I would always see the Burger King wrapper and go, I want Burger King now. But they're sitting on the roof, and he's got the radio, because with the drive-in, you just have to tune in the channel and the binoculars, and he's watching the fucking movie from his roof. And I always thought, I was like, that's the fucking coolest shit ever. He could just sit on his roof, watch a movie, and no one could say anything.
Yeah, nobody bothers them.
Yeah, but I always remember, Sean's excitement for it. He's like, but Dad, come on, it's Groundhog Day. And I always wanted to see Groundhog Day 12.
Well, that's always something that we kick around. I would actually, I think if someone was going to make a remake or a reboot or something coming out of this nostalgia kind of, high that we have right now, why don't we make Groundhog Day Part 13
Exactly.
as an actual movie?
Wow.
That's genius.
And base it off of this fictional movie inside of a movie. One of the greatest things I've seen is someone actually made a one sheet for Groundhog Day Part 12 as a feature film, and they sold it as a poster, and it was some great art as a poster, and they sold it as a T-shirt. And I don't have that T-shirt. I actually kind of want it. I need to track it down, but I've seen a ton of fans with it, and it's just kind of awesome. It's kind of like this. It sort of has a My Bloody Valentine look, because it's like this big kind of yard groundskeeper cemetery giant Groundhog Day man with a gas mask and a shovel. It's just kind of creepy.
I love it. You got me sold. Make the movie. You got one ticket sold.
All right,
Is
perfect.
Vito trying to call in, dude?
I told him to give me a few minutes.
Oh, all right. Are you a fan of wrestling at all, by any chance?
I don't
know
watch
Vince
much
Russo?
of it now, but it's just, I used to go when I was a kid and loved it, and I'm actually pals with Zack Ryder, who's a big Monster Squad fan too. So we pal around every once in a while if we're in the same city.
You ever hear the name Vince Russo?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on his. He's a big wrestling personality. You can lie to us.
Yeah.
If you don't, but either.
No, I've heard. Yeah.
I
have a lot of friends that are giant wrestling fans.
Yeah, he was big in the whole Stone Cold era and all that time.
He wrote their scripts.
And he's a very controversial character. We're underneath his umbrella, and every
Cool.
week we have a buddy of ours now, but was a buddy of, it still is, Big Vito. He was a ECW guy, WWE, he was everywhere, this guy.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I don't know why Richie doesn't want to invite him in. But,
No, I was going to get him in, but we were in the middle of a conversation.
Oh, all
I
right.
didn't want to be rude either.
All right. Well, why don't you call him? Can you
Vito.
do that? Well, Vito, just call up now if you're watching, buddy. Because I guarantee he's seen your movie as well. He
Yeah, let's wrap. Cool.
all right. But yeah, dude. So
So have we settled? Did we settle the Goonies thing? Are we good? Are we there?
Good.
Is that
I'm
good?
Done.
Did it?
I'm done.
I don't even know how it's an argument. It's insane.
I have
me.
to.
No,
gotta.
it's hey, fandom's fandom. If you like something, you just sometimes takes a little bit of logic, and then you realize it's good.
Yeah, but
It's
in
all
a
good.
deathmatch situation, there's no way Goonies are even coming close to the Monster Squad. Vito, you there, brother?
This isn't Vito. It's a disappointment.
No, this is the biggest star, apparently.
It's me.
Hey.
No,
Andre,
you are famous.
this is the lovely Noel. This is Big Vito's wife.
She just made the news today.
Dude,
people.
on MSN,
People.
Andre, she does a podcast about Teen Mom with Vince Russo. And
Okay.
they had Janelle on. I don't know if you watch the show, but they had Janelle on, and they fucking blew up this week. I'm not even kidding. Like, what are you up to? Like 400,000 downloads?
For over 300,000 downloads. We made 200 in a day and a half.
Yeah, it hasn't
That's
even been a
awesome.
week.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. We can't believe it. We just watched the show. We did this for fun.
I'm
And then
so
like we're all
happy. For Vince, of course, but for you especially. You know what I mean? You had a rough year, and this is fucking amazing for you, dude. It really is. I go on MSN, I see something about Janelle, so I click on it, and then I see during a podcast on Vince Russo's brand on podcast. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, yes.
Jeff Lane sent me a list as long as my arm this morning, and he's like, "So you're here?" And I'm like, "What?" There's this whole big list. It was like CNN, like
Everywhere.
dumb stuff.
Everywhere.
I'm like, dude, I'm a punk from Philly that had a stroke.
You know, you're thinking,
But Noel,
That's
we
awesome.
have Andre Gower on from the Monster Squad. Have you ever seen it?
Absolutely, Andre. You
Yes.
were in an episode of Twilight Zone, right?
I was in an episode of the new Twilight Zone. Yes.
you want to cover
With the
a bot
old guy that
magazine?
was evil in the back of the car.
Serious.
Burning Man. Is that the name of it? Burning Man?
That was Bernie. Good recall there. No, good. Yeah. That was.
I remember weird stuff, but I don't know if I ate today. So, like, that's...
Oh no, I hear you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with
No,
you. Yeah, that was
Andre,
fun.
Noel
That was a fun.
recently had not recently, but a year ago had a stroke, and as you can see, she's recovered fantastically, and now she's a big
Awesome.
star. You know, so give you a little background about our gigantic
Well, we're
superstar
glad.
in the brand.
And a former wrestler.
Yeah.
Yes, and a former
Yeah, I
wrestler.
used to wrestle too. I had a stroke and I couldn't even talk. I couldn't eat. I couldn't see. I can't walk, but I could talk again. I can eat, but I still don't see very good. And I use this lovely designer walker.
That is a designer one. I dig it. It's got some
Yeah,
style.
it's got
It's
marble in the front. Like, you gotta make sure your stuff is all like set to go. You know, if you're gonna be
Absolutely.
handicapped, you got to do it in style.
I hear you. Well,
I do
I'm
it.
glad I'm glad you're here hanging out with us. And
Thank
hey,
you.
she had a great pull from old days, an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, come on, guys. You never saw Burning Man episode of Twilight Zone? It was
Noel,
creepy.
Noel,
No.
do you have all his magazines when he was in like Bop and all that?
I might.
Tiger
Mom.
Beat.
What was
Tiger
it?
Beat. What do you mean, Jesus Christ? You know, this guy was like, I remember this guy in magazines. My
Big deal,
sister used
dude.
to have the goddamn magazines. That's why I
Wolfman
Andre?
got nards
Yeah.
was catchphrase of the 80s. Wolfman got nards.
Yeah.
We used to see that all the time. Wolfman's got nards. That
Wait,
was
how,
like
how
our
many
thing.
magazines of Bop were you in?
At the time, all of them.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, dude.
I didn't buy
There's
Bop.
He got,
probably
like,
You
Melissa,
had a
he got-
sister.
he got Alyssa Milano ass, this guy.
Whoa. Yo, it's the
Really?
Me Too era, bro. It's the Me Too era.
Oh.
Chill out.
Oh
Chill
my
out.
God.
Good school.
So how was Alyssa Milano? No, just kidding.
Sweet girl, good friend of mine, all through our teenage years. So, and she's
You ever
awesome.
hang out with the Corys?
All the time.
Really?
Oh, you're
Or
bad.
I'm sorry, as little as I could.
Which
You're
was
bad.
which
You
was the
are
funner
bad.
one? Which was the funner one to chill with? Be honest. I'm
You know, they're
going
actually
Haynes.
both. They were both kind of completely different people. Feldman was always sort of kind of
Weird.
the extrovert and kind of always kind of kitschy and shticky. But because he was an outward kind of personality and performer, and Haim was always a little bit more reserved and quiet, but still had a great personality. When we got older in our later teenage years, I didn't hang out with them as much, and that's when they started doing all the Corey's movies and all that stuff, and they became like a thing. But it's just it's an unfortunate situation that things they get into and lack of guidance or lack of stewardship of careers or just kind of lack of stewardship growing up leads to kind of some wacky shit.
Yeah.
And you end up getting into problems.
Man.
What do you
got
think?
off
What
of
do
that.
you think of this? What do you think of this death match? The Frog Brothers and Haim versus, let's say, Rudy, Sean, and Fat Kid.
That's tough because the Lost Boys already won in the box office in '87 because they were the big movie of that summer. But
Numbers aside,
you know what I'd rather do instead of a versus, do a them and an Sand the Squad and we go fight something else together. How about that?
That would be pretty fucking dope.
That's
would
a good
be-
call.
I couldn't
We
pin you
could-
up. I couldn't pin you up.
That could be
against the
Guardians
Outsiders.
of the Galaxy 4. Let's just do that.
The Outsiders. They were bad motherfuckers. The Outsiders.
Well, you can't. I mean,
Yeah, plus Swayze
but
was
they're
a
men.
lot
A
older.
lot of them are men.
Swayze
You know
was a
what
lot
I mean?
older.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, what do you think? Like they do this movie now as kids with guns. That probably would be like
Yeah,
like,
we did that.
yeah,
in the
but I
beginning.
mean worse. Like you think
That's
about
what I
it.
said.
Well, the
worse
gun
than it
thing
is.
now.
I said embellish all the
No,
things
it's like
that you.
bad. Like
no,
they
but he's
probably
talking
would
about
be-
the guns in general. The
Yeah.
gun thing, definitely. I don't think you'd put a gun in a
Well,
kid's hand today in a movie.
day after the shooting, no. But a year or two later, you can.
Yeah, there's no year or two later. Lately.
I don't know, dude. It's never.
That's
fun.
the problem.
Dude, listen, I was
Yeah,
watching.
this
I was watching.
that was
like,
sort of the problem with
history.
the remake.
Bro, we are a violent fucking species. We always have been. We will always encounter things that happen. It's just now it's more public because of social media. We will always be fucked up and violent as human beings.
The soft voice is always the loudest. I mean, soft is like the humans that are soft, not the hardened humans. You know, the hardened humans are like, I can't be bothered to be loud. It is what it is. What are you gonna? Well, I can't change anything. It's the ones that fucking like the little yippy dog. You know how you hear the
it's rough.
yippy dog more than you hear a loud
Because-
bark.
Big dog.
I
Yeah.
get it because if it's your kids, it's different. But we will always be a violent fucking species. That's it.
Yeah, and until we 1,000,000% get rid of guns,
You
shit's
can't.
It's gonna happen. You know, and I'm not saying it's good.
And if we do
I'm
that,
not saying
they-
it's
they're
good.
gonna
Of
use a
course it's
pressure
not.
cooker or
It's-
some
it's
stupid
horrible.
shit like
but,
that.
You know, things are gonna.
But how do you
happen.
get rid of all guns, though?
You
That's
can't.
the thing. Like,
Now
how
in
do you
America,
get
You're
them?
not.
Good luck. Yeah,
That's
You
like
remember
saying,
that
let's-
Superman movie where he got all the nuclear weapons and he threw them into the sun?
you would literally
Anybody remember
have
that
to search everyone's house.
That's like saying like
That's some Nazi
they gotta
shit,
like
though.
take away the drugs and there's a million people still.
and even
doing
then,
it,
you're
and
gonna
it's banned.
know. Like word's gonna get
Drugs
around.
are banned. There's
Hey,
people still more people die of drugs than anything.
they're gonna say,
not
hey,
getting rid of
you know,
anything.
they're coming around searching houses, and then I just bury my guns.
And then you're not gonna like the government.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's in America, there's too many guns here to begin with, so you can't do anything at this point because they're here. You know, like.
They'll
I didn't
always
meant to
be-
get into the
always
subject. I
be
just
in
meant like
Well, yeah,
it
let's get
wouldn't
back to the fun.
It wouldn't
Let's get
hold
back to the fun. No, well, you
Yeah,
got any
that got
Monster
deep.
Squad? Any Monster Squad questions for Andre?
Or Twilight
Twilight
Zone
Zone.
questions or whatever you want.
That was a good episode. The Burning Man episode. That old dude in the car was scary as shit.
Right. And
And then the end, and then the little boy in the white. Like, oh, come on, that's terrifying.
it was kind of a creepy story because that was actually a teleplay written off of a short story by Ray Bradbury
Oh,
and called The Burning Man. And when I was shooting that, I didn't know. I had recognized the older guy because you had seen Robert's Blossoms in a bunch of movies.
right.
And you know he was some character actor, but I didn't really know who Piper Laurie was when I was 10 or 11, whatever it was when I shot that.
Oh, yeah, because you were
and
really little.
Yeah, and then you realize that she's this gigantic Oscar-nominated famous actor from the 50s and 60s and 70s.
And you're just
"Oh,
sitting
that's-
next to
oh,
her
that's
in the
pretty cool.
car.
Yeah, right. I'm just me. And then you end up having, Danny Cooksey at the end as the little kid.
Right.
But Robert's Blossoms was awesome, and Piper Laurie's great, and it's crazy because we shot that here, and it was blazing hot. Like we shot it out north of
Really?
LA, and it was like probably 105 degrees out there in the hills, and that was sort of the point of the episode because they're going through a hot spell of the hot summer where the locusts come through.
Right.
And,
The locust plague is coming.
yeah,
thing.
it was a crazy story that there can be like human locusts instead of just locusts, and it was kind of creepy. And when you actually
Yeah.
watch it, you're like, "Whoa, that's kind of crazy."
If
But-
you guys haven't seen that new Twilight Zone with called The Burning Man, go look at it. That is some scary shit, dude. And I probably haven't seen that since the 80s, and it's still in
Yeah.
my head. Like that's how much it like freaked me out. Like I remember it.
yeah,
that
that
was
was
so
kind of
scary.
one of the deeper, creepier episodes that they kind of delved into, which was kind of what the original intent of Twilight Zone was. I think back in the 60s with Serling, and yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It might have been better in
Teacher.
black and white.
Your teacher in Monster Squad legit looked like a cat. Did they have to put any makeup on that woman, or did she really look that much like a fucking cat?
I think a little bit of casting, and then a little bit of hair design, made her look a little cat-like. But we all had that teacher with a cat head at some point in school. If you went to school back then.
Andre, why don't you tell us what you're working on now, and we'll wrap up the show soon. Actually,
Yeah,
it's getting a little late. What are you working on now, right now? Well, you were talking about something on a Periscope. I didn't know what you guys are talking about. Please explain.
Yeah, currently the thing that we were talking about there, I have a show on the Nerdist Network on their premium channel called Alpha, which is called Short Ends. And it's a hosted show. It's a fun show where we actually showcase short films, and we kind of interview the filmmakers that make them, and we talk about, the process of making shorts and, how they can launch careers or how they can, become larger projects. Because unless you go to a film festival somewhere, you're probably not going to see most of the shorts that are going around. And nowadays, especially in the last 10 years, shorts have become a big thing because you can make things for less money. The equipment and technology is easier to make some really quality stuff.
Give me a half hour.
Or you can also go out there with your iPhone and make a great short. So we kind of run the gamut.
Yeah.
But it's a good door opener, too, for the person who made the short. Like, it gives people a really good idea of, all right, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. And
let's grab him.
Sure.
Let's have him do something on a bigger scale.
So that's what I wanted to do when I create the show. We found a great kind of partner with Nerdist, and Legendary Digital Networks to do that with. And, one of the greater kind of examples of what we always wanted to happen is we had a guest on our show. She's a young director named Chelsea Peters, and she just wrapped on her first feature like the other day. So, I haven't talked to her, but she's been a friend for a while, and we saw some of her shorts in festivals the year before, and we're like, hey, we got to get her and one of her shorts on this show, because it's not a critical review show. It's just a showcase. And we theme our episodes, and it's just fun. And my co-host is, Ryan Lambert, who is Rudy in Monster Squad. Yeah. And, we're in between seasons right now, and we're going to be going out on the road, hopefully here, to actually brand some film festivals as short ends.
And you're in New York. Hold on. If you need an extra and you're in New York, give us a shout, please.
All right. Well, and then
MonsterCon at Cherry Hill.
Monster Mania, you gotta tell Dave Hagen to invite me back, because I'd love to. Because of my next project is I'm in the final post stages of a big documentary that I've been directing and producing all year with Pilgrim Studios, and this is sort of right up y'all's alley. But we've announced it a little bit, but it's getting ready to be done, and we're premiering at the Chattanooga Film Festival in April. But it's a documentary that is actually an in-depth look at the 30-year fan dynamic that kept the Monster Squad alive. But how did a movie that didn't do well in the box office find its home? And it's not about us. It's not about the movie. It's about the fans of this movie and how it affected their lives. How it affected their lives and inspired
I've shown
them.
it to all my kids. I have an 18-year-old, an 8-year-old, and when my 2-year-old's older, I'll show it to her. And I feel like that has kept it alive as well. Like the people from the 80s and 90s have really latched onto this, and now we're having children and showing it to them. And it's a movie that didn't age. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
it still works.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, you just hit on one of the main kind of topics that we kind of go through, is that it's incredible that this movie basically failed in the industry because box office is the only thing that mattered. But it's now a second generation thing. And, we have little kids wearing Stephen King Rules shirts and dressing up like Rudy and going to conventions and getting autographs and pictures. And, some of these stories that I've heard personally over the last 10 or 11 years have been incredible. And that's why I kind of wanted to actually, I never would have thought I made a documentary, because, they take so long and, they become passion projects. And this one was just a no-brainer for me. And we've got a lot of great fan stories and interviews. And we've got even more that aren't even in the final cut because, it can only be so long. But those would be extra features and, kind of featurettes. But, we went around the country and, went to London this year. And over the last 10 years, we've met so many amazing fans that have these amazing stories that they are deeper connected with this movie than just a fan of a genre film, right? And I think that was worth looking into, and that's what we do in this documentary.
They're just as deep as connected to the characters as you are. Let's be honest, because people just picture themselves in that movie and just love it.
Can you do me one favor? Can I be a part of the Monster Squad?
You already are.
Yes.
It could be like Little Wolfman.
He's in the
How many
Monster
fucking people?
Squad.
How many people can walk around
Oh,
and
can-
say they're part of the Monster
Can
Squad?
you crown me too, please?
No, don't do it.
Yes,
Please don't.
you
do
are.
It.
You are in because we need more because
He's a giant.
we're gonna make.
I'm not a virgin to sacrifice or anything, but can I be in the Monster Squad too?
You're totally in.
Yeah.
You're no longer eligible to save the world, but that's okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I
John,
spent
sorry.
that point a long time ago.
All the spots have been filled.
That's cool. I'm the leading guy, so it don't matter.
You're out, bro.
No.
You're out.
We need all the help we can get. In fact, hold on one second. I'm gonna.
Me and
I
Vito
just
have a
forgot
leading
minute.
role in it.
Yeah, Vito's
You'll like this.
right
Hold on.
here.
I'll back again. Hold on.
Oh, where'd he
I don't know
go?
why I
Is he
always
gonna
do
like
that.
get us Monster
Just,
Squad
like,
weapons?
feeling you.
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, this guy was in the A team. He was on the A team.
I hope so.
It was neat. I gotta
think.
give Vito his headphones.
Yeah. I was in an episode of the A Team also.
Fucking John
You've
with the
been
most
an
obscure
advocate, dude.
reference. Noel came out with Twilight Zone, which was obscure.
Twilight
John goes,
Zone.
Now, all right. If you're all going to be members,
Yeah.
you have to get your uniforms. So eventually you can find those somewhere. But since you enjoyed the movie, this will be a little treat. This is actually the actual
dude.
Stephen King rule shirt I wore in the movie.
Oh my god.
No
shit.
way. That
That's
is so awesome.
So
Yes.
and it's a lot. It's rather small,
that
but
is amazing.
that'll go
I'm
on
tiny.
tour.
That might fit me.
That might, but
Small.
we have other ones.
I
But,
heard something about virgins, and
Oh, you know when I yelled virgin?
Taking the world.
Here he is, Vito. How we doing?
Hey.
what's going on, guys? How's everybody tonight? All right?
Great. We're
Yeah.
doing
How about
great.
you?
Madeline, I love you, Madeline.
But
Yo, Vito, we
I
just
like-
got crowned into the Monster Squad.
yeah, you missed it.
Epic.
You don't have a Schmedian t-shirt for Rich, though.
I have no idea. I'm in a lot of clubs, but
No, you're the monster.
I'll be the monster, okay?
The monster.
We need something.
He does
But
have a very
hopefully
sexy-
when we're on the road, I'll be festivaling and touring with this documentary. All through this next kind of 6 or 8 months. But we should be coming back to the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn soon to show this. So you guys got to come.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
When is that?
You guys got to come.
Hey, I'm
When he
very
goes,
observant here. I'm an analyst, but you look like Wade Boggs a little bit.
Wait, but I'll take that. He was a good third baseman.
He's a great third baseman. I hope you have a good monster squad.
We do. It's okay.
He's never seen the Monster Squad. Vito's
That's
never
okay.
seen it.
Vito, you
didn't have
suck.
to. That's okay.
Suck. Of course,
Can
the
you see
old
the Monster?
guy.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on. How do I suck? I'm into jacuzzis, broads, boobs, drinks, good times,
You're such a
dancing,
mean- you're such a
Monster
clubs.
Squad's got all that. It's got drinking. It's got chicks.
Yeah.
It's got
Virgins
monsters.
that aren't virgin.
Everything. You have to
So
check it out now.
Wolfman has his
Sexy
nards out,
vampire
like-
girls.
Wolfman has a pair of testicles.
Yeah.
Wolfman has
Yeah,
not.
Wolfman
Vito,
has-
Vito, you're out of your league in this one, all right, pal?
I
For
am.
once,
I am. You
for
guys
once.
you're absolutely right. I'm out of my league, but I'm into virgins and stuff like that. You can include
Well,
me
you
in those.
can't be in the Monster Squad. So
Yeah,
you're
you're
right.
horrible. You're a horrible person, Vito.
Yeah, you would
I know, I'm
or if
debating.
anything, he'd be the Frankenstein of the group.
Oh,
I
my
Andre-
said
God.
to him, I said, you make horror movies. Like, he's in horror movies, and you never
Yeah.
watch horror movies. He never watches them, but he acts in them.
That's
Well,
it.
I have a movie coming out. It's called The Church. It's coming out in July.
Okay.
This movie is done by Don Frank, and my wife could tell you who all the famous actors are.
Oh, you
in
know
it.
Bill Mosley?
Sure.
Oh, fucking
Everybody has
Otis
Bill
Drift
Mosley.
with Vito. Give me,
Stop.
hold on a fucking
Stop.
second.
Wait, he's
You
in
didn't
a
know
movie?
who it was?
Vito.
Hold on.
What?
Stop.
What happened to Rocky?
He went to go get Swedish meatballs.
Oh
Wait, he
my
Oh,
was
God.
in a movie?
You
Called
are-
The Chooch?
He
You are
does
not
a lot
doing
of
a movie.
movies.
You're doing a movie with Bill Mosley?
Dude,
Seriously?
Bill
He did it
Mosley's one
already.
of my favorite
Can't.
fucking horror people.
I've been here with him, and who's the Ron Howard's brother?
Clint Howard's in
Clint.
it.
Dude,
Yeah.
Clint
Yeah,
Howard.
Clint Howard's in
And
it.
who's the other girl who's famous in there?
Oh, no, I don't pay attention to girls.
No, I did. But
Vito.
No, we get in this like this limo thing to take us to the what was it, like the sound place or whatever? Yeah, so we get in, and like they filmed in a sound place because I did the stunt stuff because they needed people that could throw punches.
Mhm.
So I had like this thing and whatever, and Bill Mosley gets in the thing, and I'm like, had no idea who it was. And I'm
Yeah.
like beating him, like
it didn't matter to me. I
I'm
said,
like
hey,
freaking out.
hey, how you doing? from Staten Island. How
Yeah,
you
he's
doing?
like, oh, yeah, Vito, how you doing? And I'm like,
Fucking Vito. Oh, you got a fucking calzone for me, motherfucker? Get the fuck out of here!
Oh my God, Vito,
Yeah,
you're
that's
too
get out of
right,
my
much.
car, Bill.
And then we went to this famous place where they do all the old school filming. It's in Jersey. It's
Yo,
a very famous place.
No,
They
well, can you
recorded
smack
like
him?
the Rockies there. You want me to hit Vito?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't care. All right,
There you
good.
go.
I'm
There you
good.
go.
The reason why I
So-
got up is
But I
because I
live-
literally have a Devil's Rejects fucking movie poster signed by Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon. Would love to get Bill Mosley's fucking autograph on the fucking thing.
Awesome.
Thanks, Vito.
I'm going to come to the
I
premiere.
got him on Facebook. All you got to do is ask, guys. I
Dude,
know
get
a
him on
lot
the
of people.
show. Dude, please,
Yeah,
get him
right.
on the show.
Yeah, that'd be a great get, and then send a tube to him. He'll sign your poster. Or I think Bill goes to Monster Mania in Cherry Hill with Dave's show a lot. But
him
check
and
that
Sid
out.
had canceled. And
Oh,
you know why, right?
he canceled. He canceled, or the show canceled.
No, I heard Sid canceled, and I hear Bill's about to because you know why, right?
Why?
Rob Zombie's shooting something.
Really? What do you
Ah.
That happens.
Oh.
Dude, it leaked a little bit that he was doing, I believe, a prequel. No one knows, but he's doing them. They're back somehow.
Really?
Well, that's good.
What, in the Rejects
gonna be
series?
Devil's Rejects.
Really?
Yeah, they're back somehow.
That's allegedly.
Did you ever see
No,
Devil's
no.
Reject?
Hey
No.
guys, now if you guys follow horror movies, I was also in the movie Survivor with Richard Mole, which was a B movie, and I filmed it in Puerto Rico.
The guy from
And I played
Night
a,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
The big
played-
bald guy from Night Court.
and I played a character named Bodo, and I killed 2 Marines, and I had a fight scene that was unbelievable.
Are you recognizable?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
makeup
Yeah,
and shit?
you could. No, I was. It was all me. You could tell. I was like, it was me.
I'll find
I was 275 or 280 pounds at the
He was
time.
huge.
I was a monster.
Bragger. Look at this guy. I'm like 285 walking Jack from walking Staten Island.
I wore a fucking
Yeah, that's
spandex.
right. I wasn't eating my wife's.
He wore a
Swedish
jumpsuit in the
meatballs
movie.
on Long Island.
I had some fucking scungeel, and then I went on stage.
He
and kicked
wore a
somebody's fucking
jumpsuit in the
ass.
movie. He demanded the jumpsuit scene.
Hold
he wanted
on.
the jumpsuit in the movie.
Oh, I thought he was
Vito
like
says
being legit.
Scattle.
No.
I said Scattle.
And then there was and I was on Shipmates, which was a great flick. Where
That
I was-
wasn't a flick. That was a TV dating
It was a
show.
TV reality show where I was pimping hoes. I had a great time.
So,
I have that on tape. That's worth a watch. I watched it twice in a
my
row.
God.
'cause
I
couldn't
did
stop
pimp
laughing.
hoes. Staten Island. I couldn't get enough ass if you asked me to.
fucking
You know,
love
what is
these
wrong
guys.
with you
Vito,
tonight?
they're
All
my
day
favorite.
you've
Oh
been
my
talking
God.
about chicks and ass.
Hey, listen, we're here talking with this gentleman. We don't want to hear about your emotional problems
Oh
or what
my
about
God.
construction.
No, my
We don't want to hear
emotional
about
problems are gone.
Madeline. We don't want to
You're
hear
so
about his
funny.
wife and the kids. I like, what the fuck? Come on. You got Wade Boggs on the show.
Guys, why did
Give me
we
a
let
fucking
Vito
break.
on the show?
Vito, you're so fucked up. It's so funny.
Yo, you guys should do a dating show on your like them, him, and her on a dating show and have like
Host like the
We
newlywed
should hold
game.
our own dating competition on our network.
Hey,
No, but
That
I
would
feel
be
like we're
funny.
wasting Andre's time.
We are. Andre, we're
No,
going
this
on
is
to
fa-
your
this
show,
is
brother.
fascinating. No,
Sorry.
this is
I'm
fascinating.
sorry.
I'm now developing in my producer brain the Staten Island singles dating show that we're doing or whatever
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
Yeah,
So-
let's
You
just
got
do
your
it.
host.
Vito, help
All right.
you.
Let me ask a question. Hey, Wade, what was it like to hit 330 in the series? I don't know.
He is such a ball breaker.
I wish I
on
had.
behalf of the rest of the Monster Squad, I apologize for
Yes.
my husband.
You know what, Vito? I'm not going to allow you to disrespect one of my fellow squad members. Andre, no, seriously, let's let Andre go, though. Andre,
Oh my God.
honestly, it's been an honor and a
Honestly,
pleasure.
thank you.
I've been a fan since I'm like 7 years old,
Awesome.
dude. And,
Awesome.
To have you on and talk to you and talk about this movie, it really is like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say dream and sound like corny and shit, but it's definitely
It's
like
important.
it's one of my dreams. This movie was part of my whole childhood,
Yeah.
and even to this
Well,
day, it's
that's-
part of my kids' childhood.
When you watch
And
a
that's-
movie
you know,
once every
that's-
3 months throughout your childhood,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty. It leaves an imprint.
Well,
It's kind of
and
obsessive.
on the inverse, that leaves an imprint on on us as as the cast that's involved nowadays with appearances and stuff, which had this crazy resurgence 10 years ago, and it's those stories that really kind of hit home. So that you can only appreciate and respect that, because how many people out there that there's not many people that get to be in movies, even if it's for a small time
Yeah.
or their entire career. It's a very small percentage of the population. And then how many people of those get to be in something that 30 years later, someone's kids are now resonating with that you showed them as your first favorite movie? And, you know, you asked earlier if you get tired of talking about the Monster Squad. And I always tell people, it's like, look, we just did our 30th anniversary year when we went on a big tour. And as long as there's people that want to line up and take a picture with you or ask you questions about Monster Squad, I mean, how many people get to do that?
It's
and
honestly-
you know,
It's
so
like hardly ever. You don't
It
hear
is
that
the perfect introduction to horror
for young kids.
for your children. It really is.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just
it's
the right
a,
amount
it's a
scary.
little bit of both. It's just fun enough and it's just scary enough.
ain't that bad.
And that was the mix that killed it in the theaters, but found its home on HBO and VHS, and then, you know, on your ripped off, you know, Maxell tape from HBO that you kept for 20 years. I've signed 1 million of those.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
you know, that's something special when someone cares about that, to hold on to that forever.
Awesome.
That's what I made this documentary about. So it's actually kind of it's gonna be fun. You guys will actually really like it. So, you know, stay in touch. I'll come back on the show anytime. When we release the doc, we'll come talk about it. And if we do the screening in Brooklyn or Yonkers or whatever, you guys got to come.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, if you don't mind, since I'm a big, you know, all seriousness, I have an IMDb. I've been on TV for 26 years.
Yeah.
If you could use me in one of your films and we could promote the Super Ugly Show, I would greatly and humbly appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, I always keep people in the, you know, in mind or stuff, or let other people know about awesome people that I, you know, meet or available and wherever they're at. So
Big,
agile
guy.
already in the list.
You know, these guys just want an autograph. They don't want money. They don't
We
want nothing.
wanted
They
to
just
be in
want
the
a
Monster
couple of
Squad.
drinks, an autograph, get to, you know, rub elbows well with you. But me, we could work together and we could do stuff.
Let's do it.
You guys are both on
The
Twitter.
Staten Island dating game.
We're both on Twitter.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
follow me, Big Vito
Why
Brand,
don't
I'll
you
follow
him,
you back.
all right, Vito?
Vito, I'll link you up, brother.
Cut Vito
Yeah,
off. Cut Vito
yeah.
off. Cut him off.
Just
Andre,
the babes in.
Yeah,
like,
comes on all
Yo, hit him
professional.
again.
This guy's wanting looking for
Noel,
jobs here.
smack him again.
Andre, again, thank you so much, brother.
Andre,
It's been
thank
a
you for
pleasure.
coming on this. Thank you for coming on this huge show. It's the Super Ugly Show. Thank you.
No, it's been great. We've been palling back and forth, you know, on Twitter for a while. I'm glad we finally got to connect, and let's not make this the last time. Let's do it again.
Definitely
I'd
not,
love to
brother.
get
Thank
calls.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much, everyone. Andre Gower, Monster Squad.
Yay!
I am a
Congrats.
my
Squad
leader,
leader.
baby. Love it.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Noel.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Vito, you fucking animal.
Oh, I
Jesus,
gotta go.
we can't take you nowhere.
I gotta get Vito on.
Oh, you hung up on him? Get him back. Get him back. Vito, you back yet? Where is he?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
We can't take you nowhere, bro. Jesus.
What are you
Wait,
talking about?
Bob.
Yo, you are so
guys-
fucking funny, bro.
You're fucking up too much,
We
bro.
were in the Monster Squad.
No,
Andre
he's
thought we
fucking funny.
cool.
Vito, you're
Vito-
a fucking mess. I love it.
Oh, we
That's
waste
no-
time here.
Oh
You
man.
can have like a part like
Wait.
Bon Jovi did in Blazing
Hey, guys.
what is that?
Young Guns.
yeah, like 2 seconds
Yeah.
get shot.
Hey guys, can I just say something?
Yeah.
We're officially members of the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
How many
Fit as a
fucking people
t-shirt.
can say that?
Nope.
I
hardly
could
anybody.
walk into work tomorrow and go, hey, everybody,
Yeah.
I'm officially a member of the Monster Squad.
Yeah. And I've been on podcast 1,
Yeah.
and I'm affiliated with the whole crew. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Noel, you too.
I'm affiliated with the gigantic. Now get the proper introduction. Get the proper introduction. The gigantic, the podcast phenomenon, the lovely Mrs. Noel. Noel,
Hey.
honey, how is the stardom? Vito, shut your mouth. You're not the star no
Yeah, you're
more,
not the
brother.
star.
I'm
You're
done.
done.
You're not the star no more, brother.
Sit
Yeah.
there, wait, Bob.
Yeah, you're old now. You're old news
You're
now.
old
Noel
news.
is in. You're out.
Stop trying to steal my heat, brother.
That's all right. Go ahead. Enjoy it, baby. This is what I thought. I got you the job at Podcast 1. I got your t-shirt.
Gotta steal the heat.
Oh,
He's
you
gotta,
you
you
piece of
son
shit.
of a
He's
bitch.
gonna go back and put
I
his dress
sounded
on and be
guilty.
Teen Mom 2 now.
Vito, you're a real piece of shit. You know that?
He can't let me shine, damn
Never.
it. He
What
can't
the
let me
fuck?
shine.
Noel, tell
Remember
us
when
what
she
you...
showed the action figure, guys? Remember when she showed it? I'm showing it now. Show me some love.
Oh,
Roll
my
out,
God.
roll out.
Tell us what your week's been like. Seriously, like you have been just everywhere, dude.
Dude, it's been crazy. Plus, we got all kinds of crazy troll haters that have been nuts got death threats. That was interesting. I don't own a gun, but I own a Vito, so anybody can come over if they want to try it.
I see that.
I had fun with Noel. Me and Noel were having fun.
Oh,
Was
we
it
were
Saturday
killing.
morning or Sunday morning? Oh, I was all over these teen mom chicks, and they're easy targets. Like it's
they're
fun,
gonna feed right.
What
in.
were they actually saying? Because I was going to text you if I had time, which is like to kill them off, like these people that were bothering. them.
No, Noel, was I not
Still
just
going
one
on. I
by
had
one?
to put my Twitter on private. I got 300 people waiting to kill me, waiting to be approved.
For
Yeah.
what? A fucking show? Like I don't get what people.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. I interviewed Janelle, which they didn't like, I guess, because they don't like her. But we interview other people. It's not like that's the only interview we did. So then, like when we announced the interview coming out, and these people don't know shit about wrestling. Like the one girl said something about Dave Meltzer. I'm like, all right. But they don't know anything. So they start going, well, you'll see what happens if you put this interview out. I'm like, dude, really? Like,
Wow.
I'm going to see what happens? So we put the interview out, and then all of a sudden they start trolling all my stuff and pulling up stuff I posted months ago. Then they claimed I was profiting off one of the guy's wife's depression because we had copied the Bullet Club logo. We didn't sell it. We just did it for fun with like a horse because she does the horse therapy.
Yeah.
And we said it said Depression Club with the horse therapy, just like the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was the worst human being on the planet and blah, blah, blah. Well, then I found out somebody took that logo, started a Redbubble store with my name on it, my banner, and then just a generic thing. It wasn't even my full name. It was just LaGrasso, and started selling that logo on cups, T-shirts, stickers, phone cases. And then I'm taking all this hit, so I had to get in touch with Redbubble, and they're like, we don't have anything for you. Not your email, not your name, not your PayPal, nothing. But everybody said that it was me.
I like caught a glimpse of it. I think you must have posted something on Facebook, and it was like somebody said about go back to WWE or something.
Again,
right?
I was like, somebody better tell Vince McMahon because
Yeah, some bullshit.
And I shut them all down with one simple tweet. I go, all of you out here shitting on Janelle, right? They're all shitting on her. Now, we've seen this girl grow up from 16 years old. Her mother had to sign a waiver to put her child on TV because she's pregnant, which tells you what kind of mother she's got. Then her whole life just nitpicked.
destroyed her
The
constantly.
women who are writing, complaining about her, can't even handle watching this on TV. Step in her shoes, you fucking cunts. Okay? Not that this girl is infallible and has done anything wrong. She has. But step in her shoes. Because you can't even handle watching her do it.
Yeah.
But you're going to sit there and fucking judge her? Go through what the fuck she went through and then fucking talk your bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're not fucking getting. They're on the outside looking in. Go in, motherfucker. Jump in the water and let me know how you turn out.
They were at times they were pretty brutal, and you know, like I'm used to that shit. So it's like whatever. But they were like, oh well, what if we made fun of your stroke and made a stroke club? And I was like, do it, dude. I was like, and they had like a really stupid name, and I was like, let me give you some names. I was like, I'm Crip Skywalker. I use a Skywalker. I use a walker. I'm Crip Skywalker. V calls me Crippled H. Like I had this long list. Crippled H.
Good,
I had this long list of like shit.
You know, you're fucked up.
He is fucked up. But you
Triple
know what?
H.
People
That
don't
is
get
good,
like
though.
that's. We do everything with laughter. Like we'll sit here and, you know, like make blind jokes because I'm legally blind. Like, cause who cares? I was in the hospital with the stroke, and I'm texting my kids pictures of Peter Griffin trying to walk with the stroke with his eye down here from
jeez.
stroke rehab.
You
From
didn't tell them
Korea.
that you didn't
And-
tell
and
them
you
the
know
best
what?
question I asked you.
What was the question you asked? How's my face?
No, yeah, she's dying. She's freaking coming out of a coma, you know, and she's everybody telling you, yeah, this hurt, that. I said, babe, does your face hurt?
It's killing me. I'm like, dad joke, dude. I'm
That's fucked
dying.
up.
Noel, I shit you not. My wife's father used to say that to her. It's such a dad joke. It really
It is
is.
a dad. Totally is a dad joke. Beatsville. I'm laying on this gurney. I've got like hoses up my nose, IVs in every arm. Can't walk. Can't see. He leans in like he's gonna say something touching, like "I love you," and then he's like, "How's your face?" And I'm like, "Son of a bitch, I'm dying, dude."
Oh my
and you're asking
God.
me how my face is. But that's feeling.
But that's how you
like
know
what
he
we
loves
did.
you, though, because he's trying to make you
Yeah.
smile. You know
He
what I
was
mean?
trying to make me Just trying to make me
people
laugh.
have nothing better to do with their
No, they don't.
lives.
They
It's
don't.
like sad.
They don't.
It's
And-
fucking annoying and sad. Like I would, if I would have read those things when they're making fun of a stroke, I would have.
But the women
out.
criticizing
Like-
this 25 or 26-year-old girl are like 50, 45, 50 years old. It's like, how are you going to criticize? We were all perfect at 25.
Right. They never made a mistake in their life.
Always made my best decisions at 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
my
what they
worst.
forget is because she's been on TV for a decade. They think she's older than she is. No, she was on TV at 16. She's still in her 20s, and she's got to like figure her life out. But then they're like, "Oh, you guys are personal friends and you hang out," and I'm like, "Dude, I interviewed Chelsea's dad, Randy. I interviewed Farrah's dad, Michael. Do you think we're having a reunion at like the local diner every week?" Like, I interviewed somebody just like Entertainment Tonight, and I was like, so if you want to criticize me, I was like, please contact at People Magazine, at ET, at E News, at E. Because I'm like, they're doing the same thing I am. So
Wait
you want
a
to say something?
Wait a second. You mean to tell me you're a fan of something and you interviewed the person? You mean like what we literally just did with Andre?
Yeah.
But because people like Monster Squad and don't hate him, no one will attack us. But because it's a reality show and people go, well, I don't like this one, but I like this one. Like, grow the fuck
I
up.
think I wouldn't take it this way, but how do you take it? Why are they doing it? Because she's like kind of putting it out there, like for teen girls to get pregnant. Is that how they're taking it?
the whole
What
point
the
No,
fuck is
they
the
don't like her
problem?
lifestyle. They don't
I
like
don't
her
know, I don't-
lifestyle.
And not for nothing, she is a little questionable with some of her acts. I watch the show with my wife here and there, and she's one of the ones where I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
It's like Vince and
Most
I
of them,
always
though,
say,
though.
she had no guidance.
Exactly.
She didn't have a dad.
The first kid has no father. Where's the father? Is he dead or is he in jail?
He took off. He
took off.
disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, Honor.
Exactly. At 16, you're pregnant, and the father fucking disappears. Like, this is what these people don't understand. It's
Weird.
not like these women were on TV
What kind of a
under good
person?
circumstances. Farrah's baby's dad died. This one's
Yeah, he
ran
died.
up. And again, I wrote this on Twitter. Like 2 out of all the teen moms, the Macy chick and Chelsea, the girls whose dad you interviewed. They're like the only 2 normal ones. Every single other one are fucked up. Every single other one.
What, just their whole situation?
Just
everything?
in general, because they grow up thinking, well, I'm a superstar, when in reality, you're not.
You're
You're
just
on
being-
TV
you're being
because you got
used.
pregnant
You're being used.
and your parents signed a waiver.
It's fucked up. They're being used.
And exactly. MTV uses the fuck out of people.
Yeah, and I got pretty like worked up because the one kid, Tyler, whose wife is in rehab, like not like drug rehab, but like
Depression.
like
She's,
she
that kid's
she has
gay, right?
depression.
Real quick.
What was
Real
that?
quick. Tyler's fucking
Yeah.
gay, right?
I don't know, but he's
watched
been
the show.
pretty jerked off to me.
You watched the show, dude. You
He
watched
did?
the show. That kid is fucking gay.
He did.
He put a thing. Oh yeah, he put a thing up that one of these troll things because I made that little logo that was the Bullet Club ripoff. But these people don't know what the Bullet Club is. So we did and we didn't sell it. It was a part of the show where we were saying people on the show, the kids were always buying animals instead of going and getting help. And that was the point of like, if you have depression, you should get help when it's to that level, like a suicidal level. That's pretty high. So he put the thing up and told me that I was a vile human being. He tagged Vince. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then he's claiming that I'm selling these things. So then like 300 or 400 people go after me.
Aren't they having another kid?
What was that?
Aren't those 2 having another kid or just did?
She had a miscarriage.
Oh, okay, that explains a lot.
Yes,
explains
and
a lot.
you know, I don't like. I was gonna like seriously rail. Like I was mad, and I said that's like trying to hurt somebody's reputation, and we're trying to launch a show, and you did it because a troll sent you something. Like why wouldn't you inbox us because he's talked to Vince? Like why wouldn't you? So then he sends Vince a message and Vince is like, you don't get it, she's not associated with this website. So then I had to go through the whole thing where I had to contact Redbubble, I had to have all my stuff checked, cut and paste, you know, on the stupid Twitter. So I ended up putting my Twitter on private because I just couldn't, it went off all night long. I just couldn't keep track, keep nothing. So I just put it on private and I'm chilling right.
why do they not understand you're bipartisan? It's not like you're picking sides. You're doing a show and having the people that
right?
you're doing the show about on. Like
I don't understand. Like, we're gonna have another Teen Mom cast member on the show next week. We haven't announced it yet, but it's coming next week. Vince and I are taping, and everybody's gonna see we are we're not, we're right down the middle.
Yeah, what they say on your show has nothing to do with you. I understand that you're a platform, but again, it's a platform about Teen Mom, and we're having the Teen Mom people on. So just like on that stupid fucking reunion show, no one calls up MTV and be like, Janelle said this on your show. Well, they probably do.
They probably do.
But it's like,
It's fucked up.
who does that? Like, what?
They were sharing the phone number to CPS to have CPS come out to her house.
That's so fucking.
So when Vince and I were going to record with her, we waited for 5 minutes, and then she goes, "Well, the police were just here because somebody had called them and said she wasn't feeding her kids." And I don't take sides because I'm bipartisan. I don't go, "Oh, well, you are 100% right now." We asked all the questions the fans asked us. We asked about drugs, family, her mother, her custody issue, everything, and she answered it.
Isn't her mother
And
the
as far
worst?
as Barbara,
She's such
Barbara,
a cunt. Oh, I hate her.
you and Kiefer smoking weed out on the porch. Yeah, she has that voice.
She's
I think
the
Vince wants her on the
she's
show.
fucking
All right,
hateable.
we're gonna wrap up the show. I have something I gotta bring up real
No,
quick.
we got to get to something between me and you, my friend.
We'll get it. We'll get in a little bit. I promise.
No, we'll get to this right now.
No.
What do you want to bring up?
I have a thing.
Good.
Yeah. I'm gonna black out everybody's face. I have a thing here. You know the guy Billy Mitchell, the handsome guy with the long hair. Everybody's accusing of being a cheater.
This is what you're going to?
Yes.
Billy
Okay.
Mitchell.
I want to get this out real quick.
I brought it up last week.
Okay.
He was the guy
me
who
up.
had the king of the Donkey Kong record.
Oh,
Look,
okay,
I
I
can
got
see
you.
the
I
screen.
got you.
Okay. I can see your screen.
You can see the screen.
Yes.
They say that this is the same as the emulator, and the one's the arcade, right?
Okay.
Okay. Why is it if Billy's record is the emulator, where is the barrel that's over here? Where is the barrel that's up here? This whole thing is different than that. This is the proof that they use it
Because
to
maybe there's
to say
different
that it's MAME.
Maybe there's different names, dude.
Yeah, but maybe there's different fucking arcade that
Yes,
load
but that's
differently.
the whole point of Twin Galaxies. You have to do it on a sanctioned Donkey Kong machine.
Okay, what if the thing that he had loaded up slower frames per second?
No, that's the thing about arcade machines. They don't load up the way
He
computers
got the
do.
Donkey Kong high score, but they think that he cheated and
Okay.
used an emulator.
The computer
Just
chips
saying.
on an arcade machine run differently the way a computer chip in a laptop or computer does.
Okay.
I honestly
That's
can't
how.
believe this is news.
I think this is no proof that the guy
I don't
cheated.
even, who gives a
Let's
fuck?
get to the real
All
story.
right, hold on, I got
This
another
is
thing.
real news.
One more thing too.
Oh,
I have real
Christ.
news. Okay, you know when somebody looks back at like Napoleon's past and they see all the things he did? John has me order an Ed Hardy tanning lotion called Obsession.
It was fucking $17. That's why
No,
I made it.
I understand that. But what if I die and they were like, "Oh, this was a great man. Look at his Amazon records," and they think that I used this Ed Hardy lotion?
Those are kind of confidential, unless your wife released them.
He's trying to be funny. It's not working.
No, I'm not. But
I'm not offended that I wear fucking. I tan
Oh,
sometimes.
he's making fun of you because you go tanning?
Yeah, not all the time. I got fucking
Oh.
black eyes, dude. What the fuck? I want to get
He's
like
single,
straight.
bro. And I'm pretty sure Vito
try-
tans, so
yeah.
now you just made fun of Vito.
No,
Oh,
Vito's
every
red
day Vito
from
tans.
Pennsylvania.
You know,
all
way
right,
to go.
Kurt Cobain would have been 51 today,
Yeah, well, he's not. He shot himself in the head like 30 years ago.
and you
Let's
God
move
from
on.
Wu-Tang stinks.
Yeah.
He's the worst member.
Agreed.
Who?
No one
You God
disagrees
from
with
Wu-Tang.
that.
Yo, did you see that? Did you see Black Panther?
No. All right.
Changed my life, man.
Anyhow,
It was good.
last week.
Hey guys, you know we're still looking for Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah,
just wanted to throw it.
exactly. Vito.
Maybe Wade
Thank
Boggs
you.
has him. Maybe we have to get him
Wade
back
Boggs.
on.
Let's get to the real story. Last week, Richie told a tale of his child throwing up on his other child. Which,
Yes.
if this really happened, my wife and his wife talk.
It did happen.
There was no communication of this story.
No,
I-
that wasn't a lie.
There was no communication of this story. Now, magically, the next day when Richie leaves, I got violently ill. For about 3.5, 4 days, I was on my deathbed.
I was so happy.
Now,
That's not funny though. He has a baby here.
Now-
I said that last week. Your kid is thrown up and you're coming here.
I didn't go
and then You
upstairs.
said my wife will fucking kill him.
and now,
I just wanted to say I noticed you were lean. I thought you were on Winstrol, but go ahead.
Vito, 8 pounds.
I love
8
Winstrol.
pounds in 4 days.
Winstrol's
All
amazing.
right, go ahead.
Coming out both ends, brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Vito's
Yeah.
laughing at you. That's so
I'm so
rude.
happy.
I could have shit through a screen, honey.
That was so
Oh
awesome.
my God.
I was not sick. I never went upstairs except for just come straight down here and
No,
sit right here.
he wasn't sick.
All of a sudden, hold on. All of a sudden, I sit here and do a podcast, and 6 hours later, he's violently sick.
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah.
fucking doubt it.
Now here's the
And
reason
you were sick
why.
Monday. Dude,
Here
you
is
were
the
sick
reason.
Monday.
Here is the reason why, people. Richie's trying to take me out. He tried to have a secret show on Saturday
I had
that he
young-
titles
Yes, I titled it.
Super Ugly Show.
What?
I titled it.
Now, John, we were all worried sick about you. We thought you were dead. Richie tried to poison me.
I was away.
I am convinced you don't drink anything here. Luckily, you're far away from him, not me. Richie even brought my beers for me downstairs. When has Richie ever been nice?
Never.
Never.
Yeah, he took a sip
Okay.
of your beer last night.
You're on.
The weekend.
She ant poisons your beer.
So Richie not only
I had
tried
a
to
secret
take.
show.
Now, I understand.
You're the RVD.
People get jealous.
Yeah.
When there's a star in the room.
Yeah. It's time to
Noel, I'm sure you know, when there's a star in the room, people want to take you out.
Noel, listen.
Yeah.
Vito was the star. You're the star now.
Watch your back, Noel.
Rocky
Oh, shit,
was
he's
the
gonna
star.
poison my
Next week he'll
pizza
be
and shit
shit.
now.
No.
Still am, you know why? And let me tell you why. Because I am the motherfucking Dread Pirate Roberts of the Russo's brand.
Oh
You
my
tried
God.
to poison me.
I like it.
You tried to poison me, my friend.
You're fucking out.
But your poison couldn't take me down.
You're fucking
And
out.
just like Wesley, my love kept me alive because it was Valentine's Day and my wife needed me.
I'm the new guy.
It
on
was
the show.
iocane powder that
Wait,
took
let's
you
talk
out.
That's
about
right.
this Super Ugly
the
show we did
iocane.
alone. First
I'm
of
the
all.
Roman Reigns of the show now.
Oh, you're horrible.
You got to deal with it.
No,
I'm the
oh,
guy.
yeah,
Roman.
No one likes
Oh,
him.
yeah.
My yard.
No one likes him.
It's my yard.
It's not. I actually own this.
That's right.
Somebody
I think-
called me the Roman Reigns of Teen Mom online the other day.
yard.
No,
I
me
said,
and
I'm
you were
the
the
Brandy
same.
Savage.
But-
I wear weird clothes, and after I'm gone, people will appreciate me more.
Yes.
That was
But-
my switch
Listen,
them up.
Noel, me and you kind of sprung late.
No, Noel,
in the
do
whole
not
famous
bunch yourself
thing.
with this fucking
No.
menace.
You and
Look,
Vito,
This
you and,
diabolical monster.
you and Vito were the stars.
He
Me and
lowered me.
Noel are
What
coming
was
up
the
in this
show
role.
about? What was the show?
Stop! You're cracking.
You don't lower me.
No, you're cracking,
cracking.
bro. You're cracking.
Yeah,
I know,
you're
I
cracking.
lowered myself,
and then, not only did he try to ruin my daughter's first concert, which we need to get to that. He ruined my wife's Valentine's Day.
Good.
He came here,
You're a pain in the ass.
harassed.
You're a pain in the ass.
He harassed the two of them while I was in my deathbed, and then
New star, bro.
does a secret show.
With who?
Young
star.
fucking Republican.
That's right.
Well,
Episode
they're the
2
only
is
one.
tomorrow,
Hold
by
on,
the way.
hold on. My
Big
boy's on.
announcement
My boy
tomorrow.
is on.
Your boy. This guy fucks trannies, okay?
Young, what's up?
It's disgusting.
Hey, let's not. This 2018.
I don't care what it is.
Black.
You're a
Yeah.
gross, disgusting person.
Trannies
Go
are
get
the
a
new
hooker.
black.
Tell him, Richie.
Trannies are the new black. Go ahead, Young.
What does that mean?
Trannies
You're
are
gonna
the new
say
black.
that? We got Chantel Air on the brand. Come on.
Yes,
Come
and I
on.
love Chantel, but I'm not trying to fuck her.
Young.
Let's not generalize it,
How
guys.
does it feel to replace
And so
Rocky?
does-
I won't go that far.
Holy! Oh my God!
You know what?
Now Vito and
go
Noel,
that far.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. What happens if I leave here? Let's be honest. What
Rocky,
happens?
come on, Teen Mom.
Thank you. Look at that. You know what? I bet you my good buddy Vince Russo will find a position for me somewhere,
Dude, you will be on the
and I'll bring my
expressway.
buddy John
Yeah.
with me.
You will be sucking cock
I'm
on
the
the
main
expressway for
attraction. I
20
just been
bucks.
very
Yeah.
quietly.
You'll be sucking cock with young Republican. You fucking hump.
Yo, Rich,
Get the fuck out of
That's
here.
cool because he'll backstab you, Young, because he's on the show next
Hey,
week.
No, no,
2018.
no, John.
Can't hate on
John.
that.
He backs him.
Yeah.
He backs him.
Yo, it's 2018, bro.
I don't give a
Next
fuck.
week, Young
Young,
fills
what do you-
in for Rich.
Young, what do you got to say about this?
Why is he on?
Tomorrow,
honestly?
stay tuned. Stay tuned tomorrow, guys.
Come on.
On
All right. Yeah,
so-
great. We'll
Super Ugly
all look out
Periscope.
for that.
Wow, Young, you let me
Yeah.
down.
For what?
We're all on fire for that, Young. Good
Oh,
call.
shit.
Once again.
Fuck, you let
Can't
me
wait
down.
till tomorrow.
Ugh, my
Thought
God.
it was going to be good, and then
No, it's not good.
Yeah,
It's never
it
good.
never is.
Accident.
It's
and,
never.
and
it's never
Noel,
good.
he's gonna replace me.
Yo, listen, Noel, it's never good with him. It's a horrible.
No, it's never good with you.
Horrible.
with
horrible
you.
thing. Everything's good with me.
listen, bro. I will take Rocky if we're doing brand like trades right now. Like if we're trade showing or whatever. Like I will take Rocky, and Rocky will be the official Teen Mom Troll Slayer.
That's fine, because I'm gonna take Vito, and we're gonna kill all you guys on the
The
show.
two paisans from fucking New York gonna fuck you up, show.
Our show is
I like
gonna be
it.
the
I like that
Destroyer,
idea.
any show on that network, on that brand.
But
Yeah, first guest, Dice Clay. All right,
Yeah.
we're fucking going strong.
Don't
yeah.
take those plays.
Go
He's
get
our
Teen
Teen Mom
Girl.
watcher.
hey, there's a bigger audience. I'm just saying.
All right, let's not all
Rocky,
separate
we
each
had a
other.
show idea
Let's-
like a little while ago. I just don't remember what it was.
No,
Do you
we brought
remember?
it up. You know who's
What?
a dick?
Oh
We
yeah,
could-
you know who's a dick. Every
Yeah.
week, Rocky and I'll just come on and be like, "Yo, you know who's a dick," and then we'll just say it,
And just
That-
call
and that's
people
the whole
out.
show.
That sounds like a great show. I'm
I-
gonna be honest.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah,
And then,
you
you know
who's a
what?
dick?
You fucking can't come on, cocksucker.
Because you're the first episode.
You know who's a dick? You.
Wow.
You know who's a dick? Fill in blank here. I got 100 names on my Twitter right now. Hold on, let me go grab that shit and come
I
back.
think it's a great show.
It's never ending because every day you run into someone and you go, "What a fucking
Yeah.
dick."
Wait, can we
You know
talk
This
what,
show will never
you
end.
guys,
Bring that guy-
hold on, you guys seen
No.
Talladega Nights?
No, what is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I did.
All right, when he's like
Ricky Bobby.
when he's like,
I'm kidding,
My new
Noah.
name is
I know.
the Magic
Oh.
Man, and he's like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like I can't, like honestly, the
Magic.
show that you guys are talking about would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would
yeah.
be great.
I think we should do it.
I think
Rock,
I
I
could-
think we should do
And
it.
you know
a
what? The
five-
good thing is, Noel, we literally just told everybody our ideas,
I-
so you
a
know.
5
I said now everybody to steal it. That was my genius thing to say. Like, great. I'm so smart.
5 or 10 minutes
So I
of
get
the
in
show
trouble.
would be awesome.
Big Josh, that's why you're the fucking man. From the comments, Big Josh, Super Ugly Show goes the shitter without Rocky. Have to agree. Thanks, Josh.
Josh,
Well,
go
Josh,
fuck
there
yourself.
goes your position because you were going to fill in for him. So
Hey,
now
hey,
forget
hey,
it.
he's not talking about you, buddy. He's talking
Oh, no,
about
I
him.
know.
He's talking about him.
Josh, I will fucking.
Oh, for real?
skull
Come on,
fuck
we're
you.
on the same team.
Oh,
here
yeah,
for
that's
once.
right.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
Josh.
fuck him. We were all
You know
worried
who's
sick
not
about
a
you, John.
dick?
Wow, what happened?
Not a dick. Big Josh Hinkle.
That's
Not a
right,
dick.
he's not.
He has
Josh
a big
Hinkle-
dick.
he
Josh
got-
Hinkle does have a big
I
dick.
got a
don't- I
fucking
wouldn't
meaty
know about
hog.
that.
Meaty hog.
Yeah,
He beat
I
up
only
3
look
times
at
in his
one
life.
dick. That one.
I just beat off to his profile picture before. All right, let's go. Wrap it
Weird.
up.
That's weird.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
weird.
Oh, Marilyn Manson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I heard.
God.
Dude,
What happened?
first of all, I'm again. This
You're
is
sick.
this is I'm full on sick at this point. Like I'm not feeling good at all. It's my oldest daughter's first rock concert, second concert ever. The first concert she went to was some stupid Melanie Martinez bullshit.
Is that the one who fucked with the strap on?
I know, whatever.
All right.
So
she raped somebody with a strap on. But go ahead.
Jesus.
Really?
Allegedly.
No, it's
No, it's alleged. You can't just say shit like that. She was
Oh.
never convicted.
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm gonna fall out of the chair. She
So-
was never convicted.
Wait, who was fucking. Who would have
It
done
doesn't fucking matter.
I don't know.
Marilyn Manson.
You-
got
This is,
fucking-
I was
it's like the
so
fucking
scared.
ADD show with you two.
Go ahead.
He hears strap on. He's like, what?
I've been limping for days.
Madeline! Yo, Madeline!
This is why Vito fits in so fucking good, dude. So we go. I'm sick. We go. Marilyn Manson comes out, starts the concert. About 10 minutes in, starts with this shit. I love you guys. Don't you love me? Everybody? Yeah. No, tell me you love me. We love you. Boston did it louder. Newark did it loud.
Really?
The whole fucking concert this went on.
No.
They did 5 songs that were, I couldn't tell you what they were. No idea. They were unrecognizable. Even the ones I recognized, they went on forever.
Yeah.
He left the stage.
Yeah, I
he was
heard-
punching shit.
So my other buddy said he said it was the worst concert he's ever been
We're
to.
going.
Wow.
How long did he talk for?
there was a point where he literally, for like 10, 15 minutes, was just, tell me you love me.
The whole time?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
It
I'd
got
be
to
like,
the point.
fuck you, sink beautiful people, asshole.
Never
Like,
got to it.
Sing that 10 times and I'll be happy.
Never got to it. Never got to that. Never got to Sweet Dreams. Never got to fucking. He did Lunchbox, but it was some weird rap version of it. Never got to anything that I would have enjoyed seeing Marilyn Manson fucking do. This guy put on the worst show I've ever seen in my life. It started off great. They come out with Cry Little Sister. He's doing it. He comes out in a chair. And from there on, just went downhill. Downhill. It was a
Maybe
fucking-
he's wrecked because remember a couple months ago that huge piece of set fell on him?
That's what they were
like
saying.
took him out.
That's what they were saying. He was fucked up.
Yo,
Yeah.
I hate to be a dick, and listen, I love Rocky.
Look how he laughs at my daughters. Not mine, because I've been to shows. I can give a
Yo,
fuck.
I am
My
s-
daughter's pain. This is the piece of shit
Oh, why?
that poisoned
bro?
me. And then, you want to hear what a stand-up guy that everyone sticks up in his asshole?
Everybody stick up. They would call you a crybaby.
Everyone sticks up for this piece of shit. Comes into my house today. His goddaughter walks up and says, "Hi, Uncle Richie." He tells her, "Get away from me." She runs off crying into the bench. She didn't run off crying into the bench.
Fake news. Fake news.
Oh, you know what they say about?
listen.
Aren't you going away this week?
Yeah, I'm going to Cabo.
You know,
next
karma's a bitch, man.
Next week.
Vito,
You're
Noel,
flying, right?
Vito, Noel, if you guys can start from jump. We don't have Richie. It's going to be me and John. So if you guys would if you're not busy, I know you do the Facebook thing, but if something happens.
Count us in. We'll be in.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
we'll see y'all, show.
You know what?
I'll be in Cabo
You go
again.
with stuff and
Well, he's
Why
going to
y'all
come
get
here
to
and set
Cabo,
everything up.
bro? Like, we never get to go anywhere anymore, mainly because I'm a pain in the ass. But why you always in Cabo? Like, you got a hookup down there?
Yeah, I mean, go to Cabo. You know, we'll handle the show here.
Oh,
Don't
wait,
worry.
Are you going to be away?
wait. Don't you
Wait.
remember Rich was like on
gone all
pills for
week.
depression?
Vito's not gonna be here.
Oh,
You guys
and
are
that was the
gonna
other
have me.
thing. He starts going, my depression.
And I'm going to Cabo. No money.
You can't make fun of me.
Yes, I
could.
can. Where's your
No,
note?
Yes, I could.
Where's your
dude.
note?
Where's your doctor's
car.
note?
It's in the car. Oh, so
in the car.
conveniently, it's in the car.
Listen, don't make a sticker about your depression
My
because the
mental
internet
health
will
is
rail
about
on you.
46% right now, and I would appreciate
Who
if
the
you
fuck
guys,
ages that number?
I do.
Fuck you.
How
You're
do
not
you
an
do the math on
authority.
that? He
My-
can't.
He
Really
can't even do
math.
fucking math.
He can't even add.
And
so
then,
that's like
hold
100%.
on. Hold on. I've learned this.
My mental
I've
health-
learned
my mental health
this.
is going down by you.
Richie,
I don't
this
like it.
whole time, has pretended he was in retard math. When in reality, you were in general.
Yeah.
No.
General.
It was
I was retarded.
Worm.
I'm confirmed
It was-
retarded.
You were in general.
No.
It was general math, dude.
No,
General, not
I was
remedial.
confirmed retarded by my doctor.
Okay. So,
You know
50%?
something, Rocky? I gotta say something. Wait, but he does know math. He knows the number 3. 3 fingers in his ass.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
I
about that.
I only like 3 fingers with the prostate massage.
Vito, you think he knows this number?
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's the worst.
Guys,
So,
you won't see me next week. I love
thank
everybody.
God.
ELE.
Thank God.
Everybody loves everybody.
I hope the second you get off the fucking plane, you get Montezuma's revenge.
Or you
Dude,
get
I'll
raped.
pop so
Or you get
huge if
raped
you
by
big
somebody.
I get
if you
raped?
bring
Yeah,
back
yo, you
Rocky
get
up
any weed
over
and it
those
gets a rape in
open
you.
necklaces
Pillaging
with the
your
shells.
Wait,
You know what I'm talking about?
hold on. Can I
No, he's gonna come back with a cup of water and throw it in my face.
listen? The fans that are listening to this show, can you believe what kind of people I surround myself with? These are fucked up
Winners,
people.
winners,
No,
Monster Squad members.
these are fucked up
Yeah.
people, man.
You said the
Dude,
Goonies.
we're in the
Yeah.
monster spot now.
This guy
Like,
back to Goonies. He
Gotta,
shouldn't
like,
even have
deal
made
with
you
it.
a squad member. You know what? We got 3 members here. How about we vote him out?
He had to. 'Cause he's
oh,
slow.
do we take a vote? Can we
Big
vote?
Josh-
Hey,
Does the
Let's all
monster
vote.
I have a
Is
hard-
Richie in the squad still? I say no. All no's.
I remember no.
That's
Richie,
fucked
you're
up.
gonna have to plead to me. I'm on the fence.
That's fucked
Well, it's
up.
already
that's
2-3, honey.
I
He's
can't-
out.
I can't believe how I'm getting treated by my fellow friends when I have a mental condition.
You got some.
Yeah,
I
you
met
got a
I met
mental
Wade Bob's
condition.
tonight.
Yeah, you
I met
did.
Wade
That
Bob.
was awesome. Vito, you were great. Let me tell you.
Vito.
Yo, Vito, you
always.
should have been like this. Will you autograph my ball, Wade?
Yeah,
Like,
balls across the nose. That's it.
Don't talk about Andre like that. He's a fucking legend. He was in the
He is,
Twilight.
dude. Let's wrap
Leave him
this
alone.
up, brother, for real. We're running. What do you? Anyone want to do anything, or are we doing
Go ahead,
plugs?
Rich. You're
All
the
right,
man,
Vito,
right?
plug your stuff. Noel, plug your stuff. Let's get out of here.
All right, guys, because I'm on your show and I love you guys so much, I'm going to make an announcement. You ready for the announcement?
Awesome. Oh, shit.
My good friends at Collar and Elbow contacted us. They loved the Teen Mom Show. They are making a signature series Noel podcast t-shirt.
Wow.
Coming out,
Sweet.
Collar and Elbow. There's no women that got t-shirts on Collar and Elbow, just the one with the two thumbs pointing at herself. So that's my plug. Teen Mom is on Saturdays. The Janelle interview video is out tonight at midnight.
Awesome.
If you want to check that out. You might want to try to follow me on Twitter, but right now I'm on private because I'm taking like a mini vacation. But like you could see harlowinc.com if you want to look at some cool shit. Ink INK. Vito.
No, it's all about you. You're the hot celebrity this week. 300,000
Rocky saw shit on
downloads.
MSN.
And you made some new friends because I introduced you. So
I
you're
made
good.
some new enemies too.
Vito's gonna throw that in there. I love it.
Vito, we love you,
You're
brother.
such a
It's
piece of
always a
shit. I
pleasure.
love
I
it.
can't wait. I can't wait just to have you guys next week and not this fucking jerk.
Yo, you gotta say, he's not even gonna be here. We might have to Skype him in separately. He's got business.
Hey, listen, if I can't make it next week, I have a business trip. But if you can, and you exclusively bring Noel on and let her co-host with you guys, that would be great.
Oh, we'd absolutely do that.
How
That's not
crazy
even-
is that gonna be?
Neither one of you ever have to ask. You're just here.
Listen, the hard part about everything, Noel, is trying to fill my shoes. That's
No, it's
I have
very easy.
tiny feet though.
The thing is, this is his shoes, Noel. He's gonna come here the day before he leaves, set up the show, and then I turn it on and just hit power.
Can you fill these UGG slippers? Yes or no?
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, I have to pull mine off. Can I?
Wow.
Wow.
Are they Uggs?
Yeah, exactly. You wear girl
I don't
slippers.
know what they are.
It's
Vito
confirmed.
bought those.
It's
I'm blind.
confirmed.
I can't see. So
My ears.
I don't know what they say inside.
All right.
Yeah, I got to get down to Cabo. I got to get a tan. All right.
Come
Now
on,
Rocky
Vito.
and I'll be here. We're gonna see this. You know who's a dick?
Exactly. Tune in for the next, for the first. You know who's a dick next
First
Tuesday.
ever.
Vito, I'll meet you in fuck these guys.
I'm
You're
telling
talking
you.
about his wife.
Vito, meet me in
It's all right.
Cabo. Fuck everybody.
You know who's a dick?
Yeah, exactly. Now you see where I'm going with this, Noel? All right.
It's gonna be an important show next
All right,
week.
guys. You guys have a good night. Swedish meatballs across the nose. We'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Later.
Thanks for watching.
Congratulations
See you
again.
next Tuesday. Andre Gower, go check him out. Thanks for coming on.